Hello and welcome to the short Vort for Parshas Kisa from Shlishi to Revii, and also we'll have something on Purim, and we'll use from Esther to make it parallel from Perek Gimel on its way to Perek Revii. So in this week's Parsha we have 4 psukim between Shlishi and Revii. Perek Lamed Gimel Pasuk Gimel. The pasuk says, "Hodini na estrachecha." Here, the Gemara in Brachos is saying that Moshe Rabbeinu is asking Hashem to understand various ways of Hashem's, call it a thought process. It's the classical question of why do good things happen to bad people? Why is this person rich? Why is this person poor? Why do bad things happen to good people? So the Chavetz Chaim answers by way of a muscle that sometimes you might have a guest that comes into a town for Shabbos, and he watches the aliyos being given out, and this Kohen is from the east side of the shul, and the Levi's from the west side of the shul, and Shlishi's from the south side of the shul, and all the aliyos are given what seems to him to be randomly. And afterwards he goes to the Gabbai, he says, "Why did you give this Kohen from the east when there was more Bekavadika one on the west, and why was this Levi given instead of that?" So one person from the shul went over to him and said, "Look, you come here to visit for 1 week. You don't understand the logic. You don't realize that last week this one got an aliyah, and this one has a yortzeit this week, and there's various reasons that all make sense why these are being done. But you, when you just drop in the middle, then you don't understand." So we have to realize that we who live, if we're fortunate to be 120 years in good health, that we don't see the whole picture. Over time, we can see why different things will happen, how it plays out, the reality, why this person at one point may have been given the nisayon of being wealthy and then later on are reversed to becoming poor. So it's a matter of having the proper perspective, which Hashem has the full eternal view, while we only see bits and pieces. Kind of also like if you go into a movie or something. There's a classic story about where someone walks into a shul late and in the middle of Ashrei, so he might end up hearing that Eskol Ohavav ve'ez kolosham yashmid, which, so he hears only that his beloved ones and his evil ones, they'll be destroyed by Hashem. So to him it's going to sound strange. And to the person who leaves early, what does he hear from the same pasuk? He'll hear Shomer Hashem es Ohavav is kol hashayim, that Hashem listens to all the righteous and not to the evil. But if you heard the whole pasuk of Shomer Hashem is kol havav is kol shem yashmid, then you'd know that the listening and protecting is for the righteous, and that the destruction is for the evildoers, the way you would think. But if you only hear part of the pasuk, you might get the wrong impression. Now, moving over to Perek Gimel of Megillas Esther, says Achar Dvarim Ha'ela, which the simple explanation is after Mordechai told the king Achashverosh about the plot of Bigsan and Seresh to kill the king. So afterwards recorded that he did this great favor for the king. Then Haman established his decree against the Jews. And the Gemara in Megillah says that Achar Shebara Kadosh Baruch Hu Fur Makah, that after Hashem created the source of the healing before the pain, the infliction. So it says that by Yisrael, by the Jews, that Hashem gives the Refuah before the Makah, that He prepares the cure first before the plague, but by Gentiles it's the other way. And Rabbi Yonason Eibshitz explains that what is really the benefit of Refuah before the Makah? As long as you get the Refuah, it doesn't matter if the Refuah came first or afterwards. So he explains that this shows us the high level of above nature that Hashem uses when it comes to treating the Jews. Because, for example, if there was a stone that would be able to heal people from a certain sickness, and if that stone was being used before the sickness even came, so it's unlikely at that point that the stone would still have the healing powers for this individual. But normally, if someone did not have a problem, they became sick, then the stone would work. So he explains that this is also the same thing to the situation with Mordechai and Haman and the decree there with Achashverosh, that whole package, because uh, it's like a case where a king sends someone to be executed. So they put him in jail, and the king can change his mind. But if it's a case where the king sends the guy to the jail after this person already saved the king, then it's not likely that the king is going to have mercy then, because you already saved the king, yet he was sent to jail and sentenced to death. So here, by the case of the story of Megillas Esther, that it's achar dvarim ha'ela, that after it was recorded that Mordechai saved the life of Achashverosh, yet then Achashverosh allowed Haman to create a decree to destroy all the Jews. So, b'derech hateva, the natural way, it's not likely for this to become a miraculous situation. But here, since Hashem works with the Jews above the teva, above nature, so even though in this case that you would have thought that since he already had saved the king, that a decree would no longer be nullified, but in fact here it was that Afal became the Refuah was created before the Makah, it still was something that Hashem will take care of and protect the Jews. May we all have a Freilichen Purim, and thank you for listening as always.